Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Cioffi on this now Thursday. I'm going to try and get some of these live streams done right now until I get my schedule underway. Going to be doing them when I get back home from Fios One News. And I want to say hello to PlayStation Boss, to Bryce, and to Abaddon. Nice to see you up at this hour. So we're going to take a look at what's going on weather-wise, and then we'll come back and we'll chat a little bit. So let me just get back to here, and you can see I'm going to make myself very small, and we'll start off with the eastern satellite loop. And we had some scattered showers and thunderstorms move across the northeast, and certainly for my area, which is from eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, including New Jersey, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. And nothing that was especially severe, nothing that required any weather warnings. We do have some action going on across the upper Midwest, where severe weather has been so common over the last number of weeks. But this is all part of this. You've got this tropical air mass in the eastern U.S. It's very warm. It's very humid. And now we have a weather front that's going to be approaching, and that's going to be dropping southeastward on Thursday afternoon, later this afternoon and evening, and that could trigger off some showers and thunderstorms. And beyond that, we're going to be setting up for a bit of an onshore flow here on Friday, and that's going to mean clouds and maybe some rain and temperatures that are going to be much cooler. We're going to be up at 90 or better in many areas on Thursday, but we're going to be a lot cooler than that on Friday, and then everything should be moving along. So we'll hopefully have a decent weekend. I think we will, with just a minimal amount of cloud cover, perhaps. Maybe on Saturday we'll have more clouds, but Sunday looks pretty good. And then the humidity is going to be going away for a couple of days, and I think that might carry us up into Monday. This is the radar at midnight, and there actually were some late evening downpours that moved through parts of Long Island, but those have moved away to the southeast. And you have quite a bit of action going on through upstate New York. There was a big thunderstorm in Lake Ontario earlier that came ashore in northern New York, and that area continues to move to the east, and there's some more showers in western New York, but not much going on tonight. The overnight across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, down into Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. But indeed, it is a very, very warm, humid night for sure. We've got dew points that are running in the upper 60s to low 70s. And we'll pull up the current temperature map here. And I made it a little wider so that you can give it a flavor. You can see temperatures right now still holding on to 82. At the midnight hour in New York. We've got some low 80s in the warmer urban areas. You go out to the more rural communities to the east and to the north. It's in the low to mid 70s, and that's pretty sultry. And we've got 70-degree readings all the way down to near 80 down into Virginia. You have still some low 80 readings around the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, and you've got temperatures in the middle 70s across much of eastern Pennsylvania. You can see some of these radar echoes that I left on, and I think for the rest of the night, unless a stray downpour were to develop someplace, we're going to be pretty much rain-free, although can't completely rule out a downpour showing up during the overnight period. So you know what, we're going to take a look at the weather pattern and what we can expect going forward. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to make this a little wider. It's kind of an odd shape, so I don't always manage to get it where it fits, but we're going to try and improve on this. And let's go to the late afternoon run. I want to show you the upper air here. This is starting from Thursday. You know, we still have, obviously, you've got this ridge. Let me just roll it back. The GFS, you know, one of the things that's been happening from every so often is, you know, it tries to keep showing this upper ridge in the west pushing to the east, and it never seems to happen. And, just starting from where we are today, with this westerly flow, and you've got you see all these little indentations here. Those are all upper air disturbances that are going to be working through. And the last one to work through should be later on Friday. So that ridge pops back up in the western U.S. You can see it just pops right up. I'll go back, and then it just pops up. So the trough gets to drop into the east. It does mean that we should see some improvement as we go through the weekend for Saturday and Sunday with this nice northwest flow aloft. So that should bring in a pretty decent shot of dry air. Now, one of the things that this late afternoon model run did is you get another shortwave trough that begins its approach early next week. So it kind of keeps the ridge further west. It flattens out a little bit, but for the most part, you're still with this trough in the east, ridge in the west. And one of the things that this last run of the GFS did is it never really pushed that ridge to the east coast. It keeps that troughing in the east, and the ridge stays primarily in the west. So when we look in the longer range, it sets up a nice trough. So this would say that, we were talking yesterday about, maybe getting a couple of days around July 19th, 20th, 21st where it could get hot. But, you look at this and it rules that out. The ridge just stays in the west, and that trough continues to stay in the east. So will we get some warm and humid days? Sure. Might we get the odd hot day or two of temperatures up around 90 degrees? Yes. Will we get any extreme heat in the east? No. That is not likely to happen. And when we look at, one of the tough things to do this time of year, by the way, is when we look at these surface maps, you don't have these big features to deal with. So this is our problem for Friday. High pressure builds into northern New England, so it creates a bit of an easterly flow, and the GFS does produce some showers here during the day, Friday into Friday night, and in some areas, heavy rain is indicated across northeastern Pennsylvania, into the Hudson Valley and into Connecticut and parts of interior southern New England, and maybe extending down to about Long Island and New York City. We'll have to see how real that is. And then once the wave moves out, this little high kind of builds in for Saturday and Sunday, and then we have this reinforcement. It's like a little secondary front here that approaches for Sunday night into Monday. But the GFS wants to kind of hang that front up a little bit, and that's why it produces some showers here along about Monday into Monday night. And beyond that, we just keep getting these weather systems that just sort of move through in the pattern one after another. And that to me, the signature is in the upper atmosphere remains pretty much unchanged. So I think we're just going to kind of stick with persistence. The trend is our friend, is usually how I put that, look at these things. And until we see a major change in that ridge in the west, trough in the east pattern, we're going to view any long range pattern changes with a certain amount of skepticism. Now we'll take a look at the tropics tonight on the water vapor imagery. Let me just move these little guys out of the way so you can get a little bit of a better view. By the way, excuse my voice. I am getting over a head cold that I've had for a few days, and I do feel better tonight, so that's an improvement. And hopefully I'll be back to 100% with my voice by Friday or Saturday. We still don't really see anything tropical going on. The remnants of the old depression, by the way, are now in east just off the Florida coast, and they're getting some showers with that. You can see this upper low is turning in the south central Atlantic. You still have a lot of dry air throughout a good portion of the tropical Atlantic, a couple of tropical waves embedded in there. But with all this dry air still around, we don't see, nor do any of the models indicate any tropical storm development coming up in the short range, or for that matter, even in the long range. And as we've been mentioning, this is not unusual for July. July is not normally considered a month for extreme, any kind of tropical activity, and certainly the appearance of a strong hurricane during the month of July is a rare event indeed. So let's take a look. A few of you are on here. I appreciate it very much. Hi to Paul Sack. Hi to Seth. Golden Twister 888. Yeah, lots of flooding in Massachusetts today. They had that flash flood watch that was up. And hello to Greenville Weather in South Carolina. Welcome aboard. And also Golden Twister, good evening to you. Robbie Coker, live in Greenville in upstate South Carolina, 594. Is that the Bermuda high? Yes, the upper high that's out in the Atlantic. Yes, that is the Bermuda Azores high. And you said it read that it gives us our typical summer weather. Yes, and so far you've had average temperatures, and that's because we continue to have that deep trough, that troughing. It's not necessarily a deep trough. At times it has been, but that troughing in the east mitigates the temperature. So there's no chance for any heat to build up. At least, that's what we've seen so far. Hi to Corina Rivera. And Oki AG, thank you so much for saying, "Use guys am the best." And hey, Joe, thank you. And Karina from Houston, Texas. Abaddon, what are the chances for severe weather tomorrow in the New York City area? It's kind of a tough call. I think that the Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk of severe weather for tomorrow, and that kind of makes sense to me. I think that there could be some odd thunderstorms that develop and become strong. Certainly, there's going to be a lot of daytime heating going on tomorrow, so I think you could probably see temperatures reach at least the low 90s in many areas just away from the coast. And by the way, one of the things that's happened this week, now that water temperatures are up close to 70, that has really mitigated the effect of the marine layer for coastal sections. So we've started to see downpours and thunderstorms survive the trip across Long Island and some other coastal regions with south-facing shorelines like coastal Connecticut and so on. So I would expect that you'll probably see more of these thunderstorms down along the coast as well as in inland sections. Of course, it's not really a problem. Now, Friday with the onshore flow, that may be more of an overrunning rain rather than with maybe some individual thunderstorms embedded in it. But I don't think it's going to be a setup on Friday for severe weather. But for late Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, I think the risk is there that some of the thunderstorms could get rather strong. All right, folks, we're going to call it a night. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm really enjoying doing these live streams, and I'm going to continue to do them. And it's good right now while the weather is calm, so this way I can continue to figure out how all this software works, so that when we wind up, if and when we wind up with dealing with, when we wind up dealing with a major system or a tropical system somewhere along the line in the next couple of months, I'll have everything. I'll be able to handle everything with ease, or at least a little bit better than what I'm doing now. Oki AG, anytime you always get tired of rain, ship it this way to North Texas and South Oklahoma. Yeah, you guys haven't had very much going on. I mean, some odd thunderstorms here and there, but you haven't had any widespread severe weather. And a good night to you, Abaddon. Yeah, it's kind of getting late. Check out my Facebook page. I'm going to put up a weather wheel. This way you can get your local forecast for the New York City and nearby areas in less than 2 minutes. You can take a look at the current satellite radars and some of the forecast highs and some of the local forecasts that the National Weather Service has put up. I have it all in one little less than 2 minute video that you can take a look there. So that's on my Facebook page, meteorologist Joe Cioffi. And of course, you can check on my website, meteorologistjoecioffi.com. All right, folks, have a great Thursday, and we'll see you sometime during the day Thursday. If I don't have a chance to put up a live stream tomorrow midday, we'll have another one at this time tomorrow night.